Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Leslie. If you haven't been here before, you've wandered across my little corner of the internet. Today, we're making a cat lover's sign. I have both a dog and a cat, so there'll probably be a dog lover's sign in the near future, but for today, we're doing the cat. Um, I've cut it on my X tool. If you've been here before, you know that I am the very happy owner of an X Tool M1 Ultra. I don't show all the cutting. I figure there are 10,001 people cutting. And frankly, it's hard to see through the yellow lid anyway. So let's just enjoy what we do get to see. I took all the pieces. I've painted them just with normal acrylic paint, except for this piece and the sign, the board, background board itself. And they were done with Minwax Natural. And then what I'm going to do once I get it all glued down is I'm going to wait for it to dry, probably overnight. And then I will go ahead and I will polyacrylic it so that it's well sealed. Now, here is our background board. I will give you guys a peek. People tolerate it. So, what it's going to imply, you will see once we get it together. For my glue, I'm just using this super glue. It seems to do the trick for me. None of my signs have come apart. I hope you guys are having a great week. I know that mine has been awesome. Whoops, I got a new ink cartridge from X Tools, so we'll be able to do some wood printing. And that I might show you because not many machines, laser cutters out there, in fact, I don't know yet of another one, have the ability to use an ink cartridge and actually do it on wood. Now, that being said, there are a lot of them out there and more coming out every day. So I may have missed something. But for now, it's the only one that I know of. And I will give you a heads up if you are all excited now. It does not look like when you print on paper. Okay? It is not that, I guess it does not look that saturated, I would say. But it still looks awesome. And I love the projects that we can make with it. And of course, because the M1 Ultra is a multi-use, you can cut paper and vinyl and all of that stuff with it with a fine tip blade. So you could print on paper and then go ahead and using the blade cut it out, just like kind of like a much larger cricket. So if that is your intention, is to use it just for that, I would stick with cricket. But if you want the wood burning, if you want the engraving and the scoring and the cutting of wood and so forth, because you can engrave metal, then you want to go ahead and possibly pick up this machine. But if you're looking for just paper, things like that, then the cricket is your friend. Or the silhouette, or the one that's put out by 10,000 other places. And there we go. There is part of our sign completed. And I'm just going to set it over here, allowing it to dry. And I'm going to grab this because this one is actually the one I dread doing the most. It's these little letters. But we're going to get them done. I have no doubt that we can do it. It's just patience. So here we go, guys. Now, if you wanted, you could use this exact design by simply downloading the free Xtool app or opening their webpage and going ahead getting the design, which is listed as cat hanger, and you could do it out of paper with your Cricut. It is available as an SVG also, so whoops. It is possible to do that. Guys, when using this glue, you should do what I forgot to do and have a baby wipe on hand. So if you get some on your fingers, you wipe it off immediately. Don't ask how I know. Just assume that it's true. It doesn't take a lot of this glue, so I love that about it. And then once it's down, it's down. Like, you don't have a lot of fudge time, which is why I get so nervous about doing these little letters. But you know, every project has its moments. Now for my little letters, I used an acrylic paint marker, okay? I got them off of Amazon. They work fine. They're not something, fantastic, phenomenal. But they do the job, and that's all I want, is to get the project, done. Right? And the paint markers, got some on my fingers, make it easy. So if you're going to be doing signs like this and you don't already have some, you might want to grab some. Now, some people use Sharpies, and some people, they use a paintbrush, and they use normal acrylic paint. But for some reason, for the small ones like this, I just loved using the marker. I just found it a lot easier. But each to their own. We each find our own rhythms and our own styles when we craft. People like myself who like to share this stuff are just sharing how we do it, like a jumping off point, hopefully being a little helpful, and for those wondering like what kind of tools they need or whatever. I'll tell you, I was terrified of owning a laser. And I am probably still one of those overcautious people. But I haven't yet burnt down the house, knock on wood. By the way, this is basswood. So that is good. I keep my air purifier on when I am using it. I keep a window open when I am using it. I keep a window open when I am gluing and stuff. I do bi-weekly maintenance of, unless I've done a heavy use project, I do bi-weekly maintenance that allows me to vacuum out the whole thing, wash it down, check my fans. I clean my air purifier at the same time. I check my hose for obstructions, all of that kind of thing. And it just puts my mind at rest. It lets me know that I have, a safe machine to run. I never do it and leave the area. It is in the other room next to me. So I stay right here. I do have a fire suppression unit hooked up to it, and I have an air assist hooked up to it, and that all helps. It just makes me feel better, And the other thing, that I feel good about is the fact that any time that I have needed any sort of customer related assistance, they have responded very quickly. I don't generally have to wait a long time. The one time I did, there was a big sale on, and of course they were overwhelmed right before Christmas and stuff. But even that was only an extra maybe, I don't know, maybe an extra day slower than normal. And so far, knock on wood again, I have not had an issue that I have not been able to fix myself. And I've certainly learned through doing maintenance that my skills are more than I thought. I have replaced a lens on the cutter. I have taken out the fan. I have, of course, done the little bit of assembly required when it first came. I did that little bit of assembly. So don't be afraid. You'd be surprised how quickly things come together for you. Just take a breath, take it one step at a time. In fact, I put my cutter together. Whoops. I put the being too fussy again. There we go. I put the M1 together. I cut one simple thing with paper to make sure that it was together properly. And I walked away. And the next day, I added the the air filter. The day after that, the fire suppression. And the day after that, I added the air assist. And then was when I went ahead and I did the first wood cut. I know it seems weird, but I needed that time just to be sure that I had it all right in my own mind. I needed the confidence in myself to advance into wood and lasers. So every new machine You know, they say use it straight out of the box and la 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 la. For some of us, that just is not realistic. Sorry, chai tea latte. For some of us, it's take a deep breath, you know, move in slowly. And that is also fine. Huh. I lost a paw print. I'll have to have a look for that. That's one good thing about owning the machine. If you misplace a paw print or other little items, you can recut them very quickly if you had to. But I am sure that it's here because I painted it. So I'm just going to keep on going. And not worry about it. I'll probably just pause for a moment and have a look under this because I switched it out when I was done the wood varnish, the Minwax. When I was done with it, I switched out my pea pad here, and I may have put it underneath. You know, we get so much going on our desks. There we go. Whoops. There's something right there. There we go. I'm just gonna do that. Alrighty. Oh. Okay, after a quick pause, I did indeed find it. Right where I suspected it was. Just under the edge here. I just kind of had to lift up. So there we go. Now this piece is going to be about, I think I would like it right there. And I'm just going to measure. I have my cat here. And I just want to make sure that he has enough room. Because he has a paw there. And he has a paw about there. And then his little tail goes actually off the edge here. So he's going to look kind of like that. I need to move it over just an inch or two. Or not even that. 1/4 of an inch. Just so I leave room for my hanger to go through. And for that, I think I'm just going to use my jute. So, first things first, I'm going to get the paws on. So let's do that. Just make sure that it's up nicely there. Let's do this one. Make sure that we have a nice line up there. And now I'm just going to yep, there we go. And So and this way I can just realign it where I wanted it. Just makes things easy. And now just for a second or two, I'm going to hold this down just to be sure that it's glued. This is the same glue, whoops, that I use for my 3D projects with the 3D printer, which, by the way, we're going to have to talk about probably next week. Only because, unfortunately, I had to send back the new printer that I received. It just wouldn't work, but we'll talk about that next week. I do have a project running on the faithful, knock on wood, bamboo A1. You'll see that then too. And then it'll be mailed off. So there we go. We got cat eyes on there. Now, of course, if you choose to do this sign, you go ahead and do it in the colors you want. My cat is gray. My cat has very bright eyes and is also, despite being fixed, a male. So that is why this cat is gray. But you could do it black, you could do it white, you could do an orange tabby, anything you want. But this is that simple. I love how it turned out. Whoops, I guess I can go this way. I love how it turned out. It just looks adorable. Like I said, after probably tomorrow, I think I will give it till tomorrow because there is a lot of glue and stuff on it. I will put the polyacrylic on it, and I will use some jute string. I got this at the dollar store, and I will just go ahead and make a hanger for it. Now, what I do is I'm hanging it outside, is I like to, on the back, grab a sheet of sheet magnet, and I put it on the back, and I have a metal front door. So I have the jute as the hanger, but the magnet keeps it in place because we do get fairly strong winds here. And for the first couple of signs before, when I first started, you would hear dunk, 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 dunk. It was quite annoying. So now I add metal, or I have a metal door and I add magnet to the back, and it's hung with the jute and nobody sees the magnet, but it hangs still in the wind. So that is a good thing. Little tip for those of you who, like me, live in a windier part of the world. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little kitty cat peeking out at you. I hope that wherever you are, you have a great day. And my advice, if you're looking for a laser, save your money, invest in a good one. You will not be disappointed. Take care, and I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye.